Welcome to the Sibling Rivalry MMA Podcast. We're back in the garage. We may move it all back in here. One of our big posters that's behind us in our podcast room broke. But I think it looks pretty good in here with this new camera. We've never used this camera out here. This is where we used to do it for the first, year of the show. So
yeah, let us know what you think. We should set all of our stuff back up out here and whatever.
Or if we should. Yeah, we do have a lot of autographs that we could hang. But actually a big week of fights. It's a fight night card. I'm not sure what it's called off the top of my head, but Colby Covington is fighting Tyron Woodley, and there's a lot of other really good fights. I think this is the best free card we've had in a really long time.
Oh, yeah.
And this main event is I'm as excited for this fight as any fight that's coming up, really.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think this could be a pay-per-view. I mean, I don't know if everybody else feels the same way, but I love all these fights. Should be a good one.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't sell well, but
I'd be pretty. I
wouldn't like it as a pay-per-view. I would watch it. But we're gonna do something different than usual. We're gonna start at the main event, just because the hardcore fans will listen all the way through for our predictions and stuff. But some fans just want to come and see the main fight. So we'll give you that right off the bat. Colby Covington versus Tyron Woodley.
What a good fight! Fight that could have happened a while ago. Obviously, Colby's been looking great lately, and Woodley hasn't been looking so great lately. But stylistically, it's a good fight, and they're both two of the best guys in the division, so it should be a fun one. Who do you have here?
I can't decide because I know Colby is the better fighter. Colby is on a roll right now. Woodley's looked really bad the last two fights. But there's just a part of me that, the whole time that these guys were supposed to fight for the belt, I was all in on Woodley winning the fight. Because I think, striking-wise, I don't know who has the advantage striking, but I know Woodley has the power advantage. I know Woodley's gotten taken down a lot in his last two fights, but I really think Colby will struggle to take him down. Like Usman and Burns do power takedowns. They'll hold you against cage, drop to a double, and fucking scoop you up and take you down. Colby's like a grinding wrestler. I don't know if he'll be able to get Tyron to the ground. And Colby has the conditioning advantage. But, all right. Here, I have a really bold prediction for the fight, which I don't have a lot of. I don't do bold predictions very often. I think Colby should win the fight, but part of me really thinks that Colby is going to come in there and I think he's going to be more scared than he is usually. Because he usually just comes out and swings and attacks. But he's been so quiet lately, and they train so much. I think he might be scared of Tyron. I think there's something that happened in training back in the day that he's worried, because he's not talking shit like usual. And I think Tyron might know that, and he might actually attack for once. And I could see him blitzing with some right hooks, left hooks like he used to do, just coming and blitzing at guys. I think Colby's going to be really scared. I could see him dropping down for a shitty takedown, and I could either see Tyron clipping him, or my bold prediction is Tyron Woodley by guillotine choke.
Yeah, I mean that shit is all very possible. It comes down to a lot of things. Woodley hadn't looked so great his last two fights, but the first one was against Usman, who, he's the champ for a reason. He's better than everybody right now. Obviously, Colby had a better fight against Usman than Woodley did. And then, I don't know, Woodley just didn't seem so into it. Really both of his last two fights, but he's lost to two really good guys. Colby's been looking great, but his last fight was Usman, yeah. He got his jaw broken.
But he looked so good. He
looked incredible. So yeah, you should go with Colby here, I would think, just going off of momentum for one, even. And yeah, they have both been kind of quiet. I think they both really respect each other as fighters. Not really probably in their personal lives, but I'm going to go with Colby. He definitely has conditioning. Woodley has the power advantage, but I don't know. He just seems like he's just laying off the gas. So unless something's happened after these two fights where he's decided he wants to turn it around and get back to his old self, I definitely am going to go with Colby. But who knows? He might have turned it around.
I think in my big parlay, I'll probably have Colby, but I'm definitely going to do some underdog shit.
Is Woodley a pretty big underdog?
Yeah, Woodley's a plus 275.
That's kind of crazy. You maybe should bet on Woodley or put him in some parlay or something, because, for Woodley to be plus 275, he's still a great fighter.
Yeah.
And he's definitely got a shot here.
By the way, before we get any further, talking about parlays, I have hit 6 of the last 7 UFC cards. I've been on fire. I have so much money in my FanDuel account now because of these freaking fights, and I just lost some on football because football's way harder to bet. So this might be the one that I fuck up because of this main event. So I'm definitely going to put Colby in my main one, but I'm going to do a Tyrone Woodley, and that's because he's a plus 275, and I'm going to pair him up with the underdog in our next fight, which is Cowboy versus Nico Price. Cowboy is a plus 130, and I am picking Cowboy.
Really?
Yes. I love Nico Price. We've been hyping him up ever since we started the show. He's one of our guys.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't think Nico Price is all that good. He just finds ways to win in the weirdest situations, and I feel like that's going to be very hard to do against a guy like Cowboy, who's Cowboy's still good. He's fallen off a little bit, but he's still tough. He's still good, and I don't think he's going to get knocked out in a weird way. I think he's going to go out there and it's going to be a fun fight, but I think Cowboy's kind of going to piece him up.
Cowboy just damn near got knocked out with shoulder strikes. So
it's Conor McGregor though.
Yeah,
that's so much different.
No, I know, but man, I don't know. This is another thing we just were talking about for the main event. Cerrone, he's getting old, but a lot of it I think is a mental thing too. How many losses is he coming off of in a row? He's been losing a lot lately.
Well, okay. He lost his last fight to Pettis, but he won that fight. He definitely won that fight.
Okay.
And then he lost to Conor and Gaethje and Tony.
Yeah.
But
okay, yeah, those are all really good guys. Those are all really good guys. So, they finally given him somebody who's kind of more like an up-and-comer, not super established. So he may go in there with some more confidence, something to prove even, probably. So, yeah, I don't know. Every Cerrone fight, you got to think about how he's going into it mentally, because it definitely makes a difference for somebody like him. Cerrone's always one of my favorite guys. Nico Price is one of my favorite new guys. I'd like to see Cowboy get a win here. I'd also like to see Nico Price. I want Cowboy to win. But who do I think is going to win? It's just a tough one to pick here because it just matters so much on what Cerrone's feeling. But I'm probably going to go with Price, to be honest.
Yeah, another one of my things is Nico Price gets in wars and he gets hurt a lot, and sometimes he finds ways to survive. Against Luque, he found a way to survive.
I'm picking Cerrone.
But when Cowboy hurts people, he finishes them. He's good at finishing guys, whether it's with strikes or finding another combo, or once they get to the ground, finding that choke. He's very good at finishing guys when he gets them hurt, and he does well in wars most of the time. He's good at staying composed and winning. So
yeah.
He's a better fighter, but can he take the shots?
I might go with Cerrone. He's been really letting me down though, but I think I'm gonna go with him, and we'll see what happens. If I'm wrong about it, I'll just say it's because I love him.
So next one is one that a lot of people are looking forward to, including myself. We got Khamzat Chimaev, however you say that. They call him Habib 2.0. It's the guy that has fought a bunch during this and is calling out the top guys after being 2-0 in the UFC, and he's outlanded his opponents 185 or 285 to 2 or something. They're hyping him up. They already have him scheduled for another fight after this with Damian Maia. That's how confident Dana White is. But he's going against Gerald Meerschaert, which is another guy that we've been pretty high on this show.
Yeah.
He has a lot of good wins. He's really good on the ground. And he's a plus 360 underdog right now on DraftKings.
Yeah, that's something I was going to say. I think it's interesting that they've got him going against Meerschaert and then Maia, too, real high-level jiu-jitsu guys. There's got to be something to that. What's the odds?
He was a plus 365, and Habib 2.0 is a minus 500.
I think I actually put money on Meerschaert a week ago when the odds first came out, and I think he was even a bigger underdog. I threw $20 on it just because for the odds to be that crazy, and I knowing how good Meerschaert is and how I really don't know how good this other guy is. He looks really good, but we don't know for sure yet. So I think that's an easy one to throw some money on for me. But it is a hard fight to pick if you're just looking at it, I think. I think a lot of people are going with, I don't know how to say his name. Khamzat. I think that's it. Yeah, a lot of people are going with Khamzat. He's really riding this hype train, and it might be real. I'm not saying it's not. There's no reason for me to think that it's not, but yeah, I would put the money on Meerschaert just because of the odds.
I'm going Khamzat. I'm aboard the hype train. I think the odds are a little bit ridiculous on this, so I probably won't touch this fight in my bets at all.
Parlay, you mean?
I mean, at all. I'm probably not going to touch it in general. The odds for Mearshart are good, but the way I've been winning my parlays, I haven't been throwing those type of fights in. I've been picking the guys that I think are going to win the fights. So I don't think I'm going to touch this one. Mearshart is good, but he's very up and down. Like his last fight, he got knocked out by Ian Heinisch. He's 6-5 in the UFC. He does have good wins. Like he's impressive. He beat Trevin Giles, and he beat Deron Wynn, but he loses a lot too. I think Kazmat's going to do what he does, and I think he'll take him down. And Mearshart, I think, might be a little too comfortable down there, and I think he's going to get beat up.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. I'm not saying that I'm picking Mearshart. This is another one I'm having trouble with. There's a lot of tough fights to pick on this. I might go with Kazmat too, just based off of just...
It's spelled Kamzat. I don't know.
Kumquat. Either way, I got my money on Mearshart, so I'm gonna be rooting for him. So I'll roll with that, I guess, since I don't fucking know.
Right, next up, another fight between two guys that, Johnny Walker's hype train is completely derailed, but was a hype train. And Ryan Spann, who a guy that I'm always impressed with him when he goes out there and fights. Two long guys, really good striking, pretty unorthodox. I don't know. Oh, my phone just stopped working. I don't know who I'm going to pick in this. I think I'm going to go Johnny Walker. If this fight's going to be standing, I feel like he should win. Ryan Spann has wins over Sam Alvey, Big Nog, and Devin Clark, so he's very proven and a good striker. But I think Johnny Walker's still good. Despite losing his last couple fights, he's still really good. He's still really hard to handle on his feet. He still has a lot of power. Power's there regardless. That's not going to go away. So if he lands a big shot, Spann will go out. But
yeah,
I'm going to go with Walker I'm going to say knockout. I think he's going to get back on track and have another highlight reel knockout and finally get back.
Yeah. He just makes mistakes. He's a good fighter. It seems like he doesn't really have a chin. He gets knocked out a lot. Like we said, I don't know if we actually mentioned it this time. Corey Anderson knocked him out. They got rid of Corey. He's in Bellator now. And I think they definitely want Johnny Walker to get back on that hype train.
And that's the only time he's got finished in the UFC.
In the UFC, but he's been knocked out multiple times outside of the UFC.
His last loss was to Krylov, and that was grappling. He just got wrestle fucked the whole time.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with Johnny Walker, too. Another one that I'm not super confident on here. But, yeah, I'm going with Johnny Walker.
All right. Next one, we got Mackenzie Dern versus Randa Marcos.
Can't stand Mackenzie Dern.
If you don't know who Randa Marcos is, she's the girl with the red hair. She's been fighting in the UFC for fucking forever. She's not bad at all.
She's got an even record.
Yeah, she
10-9-1.
But for the girls, it's not bad. But she's fought all the best girls. She beat Angela Hill, she beat Ashley Yoder, she lost to Claudia Gadea. And that's in 2019. She lost to Rebus, who's good. So she's tough. Dern, submission specialist. That's really all she's good at. I'm gonna go with Dern.
I'm definitely going with Dern.
Yeah, I've seen Marcos on the ground a lot. She's not bad there at all, but she's not on Mackenzie Dern's level. If it's standing up, Marcos might be able to beat her. I don't know. She's not that impressive at all. I have a hard time believing it's not going to go to the ground. Most girl fights do. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go with Dern I'd say by submission. I think she can get it. Dern's a minus 190. Marcos is a plus 150, so not a huge difference in odds. But I'm probably going to put Dern in the parlay.
What are the odds for Walker and Spann?
Johnny Walker's a minus 137. Spann's plus 110.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely going with Dern, though. I'd definitely put her in a parlay. Seems like the most obvious pick on this card for me so far. Yeah.
All right, and then the last fight on the main card.
The first fight on the main card.
Yeah. The first fight on the main card. Last one we're talking about. Kevin Holland versus Darren Stewart. This one's going to be a fucking awesome fight. Mm-hmm. The odds are a little surprising to me. Kevin Holland's a minus 240 favorite. Darren Stewart's plus 188. I thought this would be pretty even.
Should be even, I would think, yeah.
But honestly, just based on those odds, I guess I'm going to go Kevin Holland. I was kind of up in the air about it. I like both these guys a lot, but with those odds, I guess people must know something that I don't know.
This one seems like a total toss-up to me, too.
Yeah.
It seems like, going off of their records and who they fought and who they beat and who they've lost to, I mean, this seems like a really even matchup. Like, hardest one to pick on the whole card, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing for me, like when Darren Stewart fought Deron Winn, I wasn't super impressed with Darren Stewart. I think I remember that fight was close. I don't remember who I thought won, because Winn looked really good early and then he got tired, which is what he does. But I don't really think that's a big tribute to Darren Stewart. I think that's just something Deron Winn always does. Fuck. I'm going to go with Kevin Holland, I mean...
I was going to go with Holland anyway, but I didn't look at the odds before. Yeah, I thought it would be perfectly even, but this one's a toss-up. Hardest. I'm definitely not putting this in a parlay.
No, probably not. So right now, my big parlay, five fight one. If my phone will work. Well, I'm gonna have in my first one. These could change for me. This is just off the top of my head after doing this podcast. I'm gonna have Colby. I'm gonna have Cowboy. I'm gonna have Dern. I'm gonna have Walker, and I'm gonna have Holland. It's plus 1,007. So $10 on that is gonna win you 110.65. So that's gonna be my main parlay for the fight. And then I'm also gonna do just a fun one. We're gonna do Woodley and Cowboy together, just in case Woodley does pull up that upset that I think he might pull. That's a plus 763, so $10 is going to win you $76. So those are probably going to be my two parlays for the week. And I usually put together a really big one with a lot of the big favorites just to fuck around with, and it often hits unless there's a big upset. So I'll probably do one of those two. But yeah,
and we'll put our parlays and whatever bets we do on Twitter, whatever we decide to finally put in at Rivalry MMA. Definitely a lot of underdogs to look at on this one, though. Woodley being a big underdog, Cerrone and Mearshart. Cerrone's the underdog, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Woodley, Cerrone, and Mearshart all being those big underdogs. That's definitely worth looking at. Maybe even just putting a little bit of money on all three of them together. So, yeah, I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. Shout out to MyBookie. If you're going to be betting, go ahead and use them.
Yep. They are... MyBookie is sponsoring us. Great plug right there, by the way.
Thanks.
Yeah, we're sponsored by MyBookie. We said that last podcast. They have decided to sponsor everybody on Big Heads Media. We currently do not have a promo code for ourselves. We're working on getting one. Hopefully that happens soon. But another podcast that I'm a part of, Colts Corner. We're in Indianapolis. I'm not a Colts fan, but I support them. I know a lot about them, so that's ran by me, my cousin Vance, and Warren Cornelius. Go check that out, Colts Corner. And use code Colts Corner on MyBookie. Get a little discount or something there. Not really positive exactly what it does. But yeah, go use that promo code.
Hell of a shout out there. Hell of a promo.
I was doing good. Code Colts Corner is a tongue twister. Yeah, like I said, 6 and 7 on the last few cards on my parlays. So check us out at Rivalry MMA and make sure to put some money on those. Shout out Big Heads Media. Check us out on Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, and YouTube. And we'll see you guys next time.